The Detroit Lions currently have 18 players on injured reserve. 13 of those players are on defense. And that is not including the 3 that will be added in Aleem McNeil, Carlton Davis III, and Khalil Dorsey. That'll put us to 21 players that are on injured reserve. That has a very eerie number to me. If we go back to 2019, I believe it was the 2019 season, I had just moved into this house. And that is when we lost Matthew Stafford for the year with the back. He had fragments in his back. This is a different team. We have a much better team. We are much deeper when it comes to the roster. But there's no doubt that the Detroit Lions are going to be hurt. We're hurting. And Dan Campbell did his press conference today. Jared Goff said that something very similar, like, yo, we're not done yet. People are counting us out, ready to throw in the towel. We ain't done, so stop, right? And it seems like it really all started. It started with Marcus Davenport, Derek Barnes, and we could see the effects of those 2 guys missing. But when Hutch went out, about 6 weeks into the season, that's when it seems like things just started to fall apart. Now, we have won more games without Hutch this season than when he was playing, right? We went 3 months, 90 calendar days exactly since our last loss between September 15th and December 15th, literally 90 calendar days. And it seems like it kind of really started to get aggressive when Aidan Hutchinson went down. And we have been having conversations. Would he be back? Him, Derek Barnes. First, it was he's out for the season. Then within a few days, Dan Campbell was like, if anybody could come back, it'll be Hutch. We were hearing this is a 4 to 6 month injury. It would be exactly 4 months from the time that he got hurt until the Super Bowl, right? And we've been hearing, and you guys in the comment section, I'm not a doctor, but some of you guys in the comment section maybe are, because you keep telling me that he's not coming back. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to believe Aidan Hutchinson, his doctors, and the team before I believe somebody in the comment section, right? I don't know why y'all just insist that this man is not coming back. Now, we know that the Detroit Lions are not going to bring him back if he is not ready. We don't have to worry about that. The doctors are not going to clear him if he's not ready. This is not any given Sunday. That's not going to happen. And even if by some crazy chance it did with the doctors, the Lions, we've seen this before. Jamison Williams, he wanted to get back. The Lions said, no, you'll come back when we're ready. Emmanuel Mosley, he wanted to come back. The Lions took their time. Also, Hendon Hooker, he was good to go. Lions took their time. And they are not going to rush Aidan Hutchinson. Now, out of all the guys that we mentioned, Emmanuel Mosley was probably a little bit better, his pec injury. But Aidan probably had the best injury out of the 2 people that I mentioned when it comes to Jamison Williams and Hendon Hooker. They had ligament damage, right? Structural damage to their knees. Aidan had a bone break. Yes, it was bad. It could have been worse, but he had a bone break. And this might sound weird, but that's one of the best things that you can do, especially if it's just a clean break, no complications, and it's not a compound fracture. But Aidan was on a podcast. Now, I didn't see him at the game Sunday, but then I missed him the Sunday, last time I went as well. But I don't know if you guys saw him on TV, but I don't remember them showing him in the stadium. But he's usually there every home game, not the first couple, I think, after he got hurt, but the ones after that. And I didn't see him. But usually he's there, and the crowd get hyped when we see him. Now, we saw that Hutch has been underwater, walking in the pool, right? We saw that he's walking unassisted, even though he should. And we saw Jay Glazer just a week ago said that Hutch could be back as early as the NFC title game. Well, you know what? We finally get to hear from the man himself. This is coming from the Detroit Times Twitter account via the Squeeze podcast. The quality is quite poor because I think this is a screen record of some sort. And, as you start recording it, the quality drops down and down. But it doesn't matter. We know this is Hutch and we can hear him. Here's what he had to say about coming back and the potential to be back for the Super Bowl.
Just I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there, and I promise you, I'm gonna be back. And I tell people that. My mom was like, I remember we were talking yesterday, and she's like, but Aidan, like what if you don't get back? Like what if you can't? And I was like, there's no other way. Just I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there, and I promise you, I'm gonna be back. And I tell people that. My mom was like, I remember we were talking yesterday, and she's like, but Aidan, like what if you don't get back? Like what if you can't? And I was like, there's no other way. Just
So notice what he said. He said, I'm on track for my goal to be back by the Super Bowl. I'm on track. Now, what that tells me is that Hutch is communicating with his doctors and saying, hey, how realistic is it that I can be back for the Super Bowl? Hey, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. Is it realistic? So, yes, give me a goal. This is my goal. Is it realistic? Yes, it is. If these things happen. And he said, I'm on track. Not I'm almost on track. I'm almost there. I'm on track, which tells me if he does not have a setback, Aidan Hutchinson could be back for his goal to play in the Super Bowl. And I love what he said because we needed that today. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know when this was recorded. It was probably recorded before the Buffalo Bills game, but between Dan Campbell and Jared Goff and just the meltdown of some of the fan base, Hutchinson coming out, our defensive staple after losing the entire defensive line, minus DJ Reader, all the starters, but DJ, they're all gone. They're all gone. Season-ending Aleem, season-ending Marcus, potentially supposed to be season-ending for Aidan. And he's like, yo, y'all do your job. I'm going to do mine. You just got to get there. I promise you I will be back. All you got to do is get there. I'm working hard to be back. And what did Dan Campbell say? And I meant to bring this up in my earlier video. He said it would be, I love this. He said it would be in vain. We can't let the sacrifices of our fallen brothers, pretty much, all these guys going out. We mentioned it. 21 soon to be on injured reserve. 21. And Khalil Dorsey is a defensive player. That'll be 16 on defense that are out. Over half of those guys, if not more, maybe 2/3, 75% are done for the season. He said it would be in vain if we just gave up, if we didn't try to fight our way through this thing. We can't let the sacrifices of those guys be in vain and we not finish what we started. Hutch said, you do your job. Get us there. And I promise you, I will be back. Now, does he have the final say? Of course not. He's got to be cleared by the doctors. He's got to all of that stuff. But if he is good to go and there's no setback and the Detroit Lions are like, yo, docs, is he cleared? What could happen? Could it be, you know what? And like I said, everybody worried about him re-aggravating him. That's not how this really works. He broke a bone. I've broken the same bone twice, the biggest bone in your body. It does affect the rest of your body. It affects the bend in your knees, all of the range of motion, all of that. But Aidan Hutchinson is a professional athlete. He has the best people in the world working with him. If he says he has a goal, that goal was probably put before other people. And they said, you know what, Hutch? It's going to be close. But yes, it's possible. It's a realistic goal. I assure you he's doing everything he can to get that thing straight. I saw a video of Alex Anzalone, and this is probably about 2 weeks after the forearm injury. And it was an interview, a podcast, and somebody was like, well, what are you doing to stay, like, how can you do certain things with the forearm being unavailable? And he said he's pretty much working everything else. He's working his legs, his other arm, every other muscle in the body. And then when that one becomes available, he can do it. And that was a month ago. I think he got hurt during the Jacksonville Jaguar game, and I believe that was a month ago. I believe he's eligible to come off IR. I don't know when. They said, he could be back for the playoffs. So his 21-day window could open soon, right? It's funny because the forearm, I would imagine that the forearm is kind of like the shin of the arm, right? It's kind of funny. Like we got a bone up here between the shoulder and the elbow that kind of feels like it could be like a femur type bone. And then you've got the bone. It feels like it's more than one bone in this area. But anyway, this is outstanding for Hutch to have a go. And again, I'm going to let you hear it again. Because I hear everybody in the comment section about it. What did he say? Let's listen and hear what he said. I want you to hear it again.
I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there. And I promise you, I'm going to be back. And I tell people that. My mom was like, I remember we were talking yesterday, and she's like, but Aidan, like what if you don't get back? Like what if you can't? And I was like, there's no other way.
I love that. Mom, but what if you can't win? What if you can't? He's like, Mom, there's no other way. I have to get back. And that's what Dan Campbell was saying as well. Look at how Hutch is busting his tail, which I'm sure everybody else on IR would do the same thing if it wasn't season ending. Just think about this too. If it was an Achilles, he's done. If it was a MCL, ACL, PCL, done. It was in between those two ligaments, meaning, the knee and the ankle in that area. And he has a chance to come back. One of the few that have a chance to come back. And he's working. He said, Mom, there is no other way. And now the Detroit Lions need to do their job and make sure we get there so we can see Hutch. And now I'm starting to wonder if Hutch comes in. Maybe he's limited snaps. He plays, what are there? About 70 some odd snaps on offense usually, which means that there's 70 some odd snaps on defense. Could Hutch give us 30%? Could he give us 30%? Let's say there's 75 snaps on defense. Could he give us 25? Could he give us, I don't know, but I love it. There's no other way. So let me know, man, what you think in the comments below. One thing about Dan Campbell, man, he never counted Hutch out. Even that early week, it hadn't even been a week yet. Hutch wasn't even home yet from the hospital, and he never counted. He said if there's anybody that could do it, it was Aidan Hutchinson. So now we've seen the videos. We've heard it from Dan Campbell, and we've heard it from the doctors and the insiders, and now we've heard it from Hutch himself. I know what the Lions and the doctors have to do, but if he's talking like this, that means that there is legit hope that this man could return. The doctors, the team doctors, the physicians, the healthcare people, they're not feeding him misinformation. They're giving him a realistic goal, and they're saying, Hutch, if you want this, bro, you're talking about, man, this would be if the Lions were able to pull this off, Hutch returns, and they were to pull this off, man, get to and win their first Super Bowl in this manner, we would have to be one of the greatest teams in history. There's no doubt about it. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. And I know somebody in the comment section is going to be like, Hutch ain't coming back this year. Fake news. Well, you tell that to Hutch next time you see him.